I initially thought my husband was overreacting. Did we really need to sell Jason's car, the one he had worked so hard for, just because of a few bad grades? But my husband was firm, believing it was the only way Jason would understand that school needed to come first. Neither of us could have anticipated how he would react. What he did next completely shattered our understanding of him, leaving us blindsided and unaware of just how much worse things were about to get. "What did you do?" Jason yelled when Adam told him he had sold the car. Although it was obvious he was furious, we had no idea just how much worse things were about to become. "Listen, son, it's for your own good." Adam started to explain, but Jason cut him off, storming off to his room and slamming the door so violently that the windows rattled. I sighed, resisting the urge to say, "I told you were being too harsh," and instead muttered, "I'll go talk to him." I headed upstairs and knocked on Jason's door, but he shouted, "Leave me alone, go away." This wasn't out of the ordinary for him lately, but I remained firm, replying, "I'll sit here until you're ready to talk." My tone was calm and stern, yet still filled with love. It worked. Soon enough, he opened the door. But when I saw what he had done, I was left speechless. "Jason, what are you doing?" I finally exclaimed, unable to process what was happening. "You have no idea what you've done." "But what exactly did Jason do, and how would it all end?" he shouted back angrily, and what he did next completely blindsided both me and Adam. In that moment, I realized just how little we truly knew about our son. Why were his parents so shocked? When Jason came home with the news that he had failed another test, I never imagined it would lead to this. I still remember talking with Adam, trying to figure out the best way to reach our son. We had tried everything, talking to him, enrolling him in extra classes, even taking away his phone and grounding him, but nothing had worked. So Adam decided it was time to take it to the next level. Taking away his phone won't help. He's always in that garage anyway. It's that damn car, Adam grumbled one evening, and that's when he decided to sell it. I didn't fully agree with this approach, but Adam was determined, and eventually I gave in. He found an eager buyer quickly and arranged the sale, all while making sure Jason had no clue what was coming. Taking away his phone won't help. He's always in that garage anyway. It's that damn car. Adam grumbled one evening, and that's when he decided to sell it. I didn't fully agree with this approach, but Adam was determined, and eventually I gave in. He found an eager buyer quickly and arranged the sale, all while making sure Jason had no clue what was coming. "No, no, no, no," he yelled when he realized the car was really gone. "Who did you sell it to? Please, I need to know." "You need to focus on school, son," he insisted, but Adam remained calm and told him to go to his room. "You'll have plenty of time to work on cars after you get your degree." But of course, Jason didn't want to hear any of it. He stormed up the stairs and locked himself in his room. I followed quickly, waiting for him to open the door, but instead I heard him rummaging around. There were loud bangs and thuds, as if he was rearranging his entire room. Maybe he's redecorating to relieve stress, I thought, though deep down I knew that wasn't the case. Something else was going on. When he finally opened the door, my jaw dropped. Jason stormed past me carrying a large suitcase without saying a word. "What? Where are you going?" I asked, but he didn't answer. "You've made a huge mistake," he shouted as he marched down the stairs. I was completely lost. "Jason, wait. Let's talk about this," I pleaded, but he ignored me, continuing on without a second glance. By the time Adam followed the noise to see what was going on, it was already too late. Jason had stormed out into the night. He just needs to cool off. I called his phone over and over, but he didn't answer, and eventually my calls stopped going through. I was worried sick, but Adam reassured me, saying, "He'll be back by morning, don't worry." Well, let me tell you, he was absolutely wrong about that. I stumbled back inside, a mix of uneasy emotions swirling inside me. Why wasn't he answering his phone? Where could he possibly be? My mind raced with questions as Adam stood beside me, gripping his phone tighter with each call. Each one rang and then went straight to voicemail, a sinking feeling growing with every unanswered attempt. We had no answers, and the silence on the other end seemed to echo all our fears and worries. As we sat in the living room, time seemed to drag on endlessly. We debated whether or not to call the police, unsure if it was still too soon since Jason had left. Each passing minute felt like it stretched longer than the last, and the tension between us grew. Finally, we decided to wait a couple more hours, holding on to a fragile hope that maybe, just maybe, Jason would come home. While we waited, I came up with a plan to reach out to Jason's friends, hoping they might have seen or heard something. But with every call, I only got the same response. No one had heard from him. The uncertainty gnawed at me, each unanswered call only deepening my worry. In the background, Adam paced back and forth, occasionally muttering regrets under his breath. We were getting nowhere fast, and the silence only made everything feel worse. Sitting on the couch, I couldn't shake the feeling that we had pushed Jason too hard this time. As the night dragged on, Adam eventually fell asleep right there next to me. Meanwhile, I stayed awake, straining to listen for any sounds through the night that might signal Jason's return. It was all I could do to keep myself from spiraling into constant worry, fearing the worst with every passing hour. As the first streaks of morning light filtered through the curtains, Jason was still nowhere to be found. The house felt empty without him. That's when it hit me. He'd taken it when he left. I decided to check his room, and to my dismay, I noticed that his suitcase was gone. I could feel the tears welling up, but I fought them back, desperately hoping it didn't mean what I feared it did. Seeing the missing suitcase made it clear that Jason had planned on being gone for some time, and it only added more urgency to our search. Even the smallest clue could help us find him. Adam and I agreed to reach out to his teachers, hoping they might have noticed something unusual about him at school. We desperately needed a sign, anything, to guide us in the right direction. I finally called the school office and explained our situation. The receptionist was kind, saying she'd inform his homeroom teacher and promised they would keep an eye out for any clues. While waiting for any word from them, I started making a list of all the places Jason loved to visit. Maybe we could find some trace of him there and uncover new information that might help us. Adam suggested we take another look in the garage, thinking maybe we had missed something important. In one, I found a crumpled up piece of paper with an address scribbled on it. While he searched there, I went upstairs to sort through Jason's old school notebooks. It didn't look familiar to me. Adam and I exchanged confused glances, but this was a lead, no matter how small. Determined to act on the new address, we hurried to the car. The address was scrawled in a rush, just a messy jumble of numbers and letters. But it was our only lead. Driving to the location felt uncertain, like a total long shot, but we had no choice but to investigate, hoping it would bring us closer to finding Jason. Our drive took us to a neighboring town, and both Adam and I scanned the streets, hoping to catch a glimpse of Jason somewhere in the bustling area. But despite our determination and thorough search, it felt like we had hit a massive dead end. The town was so big, and Jason was nowhere in sight. Our anxiety grew with each passing minute, the uncertainty gnawing at us. Adam was at a loss for ideas, but then he remembered something. "Let's try that diner Jason likes," he suggested. It was a place where Jason often hung out with his friends. As we walked in, I scanned the room, hoping to spot him. The diner was busy with people, but Jason wasn't anywhere to be found. Our hope began to slip away, and the uncertainty grew even more overwhelming. Adam decided to approach the waitress standing by the counter. He pulled out his phone and showed her a picture of Jason. She peered at the photo, squinting slightly before nodding in recognition. "Oh yeah, he was here last night," she confirmed, validating our suspicions. He ordered some takeout, seemed in a bit of a hurry. It wasn't much, but it was enough to reassure us that we were on the right track. Hearing that Jason had been at the diner made our hearts leap, but our joy was short-lived when the waitress couldn't provide any information about where he had gone afterward. Still, we thanked her warmly for her help and walked out, our minds racing with possibilities. Determined not to lose hope, we knew we had to keep pushing forward, thinking about where to search next. Adam sat silently in the driver's seat, deep in thought about where Jason could be. Maybe someone had seen him, or perhaps he had stopped to fill up. After a moment, I turned to him and suggested we check the gas stations along the highway. It was going to be a long day, but it felt like a lead worth chasing. The highways stretched endlessly as we moved from one gas station to another, each stop feeling like it blurred into the next. But we didn't give up. We'd jump out of the car, show Jason's picture around, and ask if anyone had seen him. With every no we received, the weight of the situation grew heavier. We couldn't. After hours on the empty roads, Jason still seemed to elude us. Adam, suddenly inspired, suggested, "How about local mechanics?" Jason always loved cars. Maybe, just maybe, he had gone where he felt at home, among the cars he adored. With a renewed sense of hope, we changed course and headed toward the local auto repair shops, hoping to find a clue that would bring us closer to him. We pulled up to small repair shops, showing Jason's picture and asking everyone if they'd seen him. The first several stops only earned us blank stares and head shakes, which felt discouraging. Each time we left a shop empty-handed, it felt like we were facing a never-ending wall. Little by little, desperation began to creep in, but we clung to the hope that we'd find something, anything, that could lead us to him. Finally, at one shop, an older mechanic looked at Jason's photo and nodded slightly. "Yeah, he was here," he said, giving us a glimmer of hope. He explained that Jason had asked a few questions about a car, which brought a rush of relief. It wasn't much, but it was a lead, one that could finally point us in the right direction. Maybe, just maybe, we were starting to get somewhere. Adam, eager to learn more about the car Jason had inquired about, asked the mechanic for additional details. The man described a vehicle that sounded strikingly similar to Jason's beloved car. A surge of excitement coursed through me, and I exchanged a hopeful glance with Adam, feeling we might finally be on the trail to uncovering what was really going on and where Jason had gone. With renewed hope, the mechanic revealed where the car was headed next, a piece of information that felt like a beacon in the darkness as we searched for Jason. Adam quickly jotted down the coordinates on his phone, eager to follow this lead. It could either unravel the mystery or turn out to be another dead end, but for the moment, it felt like we were finally on the right track. As we drove, the hour-long journey was steeped in a heavy silence. My thoughts raced as I wondered how our confrontation with Jason would unfold. Would he be angry with us, or perhaps relieved that we had tracked him down? It was impossible to predict what emotions we'd face, but one thing was certain: we had to find him and make things right. Finally, we arrived in a small, quiet town that felt worlds away from the bustling places we were used to. The streets were peaceful, almost too still. Adam and I began asking around, showing locals Jason's picture in the hope that someone might recognize him and guide us in the right direction. But with every no, it felt as though another door was closing on our already fragile hope. As we continued to search the town, we stopped at a local coffee shop where the aroma of freshly brewed coffee filled the air. We asked the young barista if he had seen Jason. After studying the picture for a moment, he nodded and casually mentioned spotting someone who fit Jason's description at a nearby repair garage. His words were simple, but they sparked a glimmer of hope in us. Maybe, just maybe, we were finally getting closer to finding our son. As we neared the repair garage, my heart skipped a beat when I spotted a familiar shape parked outside, what looked like Jason's car. The sight made everything click into place, and the confusion that had clouded our minds began to clear. The picture we hadn't considered before was slowly coming into focus. Adam met my gaze, and without a word, we both understood. We had to go in. Walking up to the garage felt like stepping into a world full of untold stories. As we neared the entrance, we moved cautiously, uncertain of what we would find inside. Jason had been trying to track down his car all along, and with each step, a swirl of emotions overwhelmed me: relief, confusion, worry. We needed to find Jason and, most importantly, understand what had been happening with him all this time. Peering inside the busy garage, we saw mechanics hard at work, adjusting car parts and fine-tuning engines. Our eyes locked, and his expression shifted from shock to something softer, a hint of recognition. And there, amidst the organized chaos, was Jason, his familiar figure moving fluidly among the tools. In that moment, everything felt like a mix of relief and uncertainty, unsure of what this reunion would bring. With a soft clang, Jason dropped his tools and slowly walked toward us, the air thick with tension, yet carrying the possibility of something shifting. "You found me," he said, a strange smirk tugging at his lips. It wasn't anger, but there was a hint of relief in his voice, as if he was quietly glad we had come to find him after all. Adam was the first to speak, his voice laced with regret and hope. "Jason, I'm sorry for selling the car without talking to you first. We didn't understand," he confessed. Jason stood there, arms crossed tightly over his chest, his silence creating a barrier between them. Adam's words hung in the air, leaving us all waiting for Jason's response, hoping this moment would finally give us a glimpse into his feelings. Finally, Jason spoke, his voice calm but carrying a depth of emotion. He explained how the car was more than just a possession to him. It was a connection to something greater. The constant pressure from school had become overwhelming, and working on the car was his escape, the one place where he could find joy and a sense of purpose. He revealed that this passion had, in part, contributed to his slipping grades, a detail we had never fully understood until now. Jason continued, revealing that the car held more than just sentimental value. It was where he had hidden every coin he'd saved. Those compartments were his vault, holding money he had painstakingly earned from juggling multiple jobs, all earmarked for his future and college. As he spoke, the mystery behind his slipping grades unraveled, each word piecing together a side of Jason we had never truly seen before, a young man driven by dreams and quiet determination. It was as if a light bulb went off in our heads, illuminating everything we had missed. Suddenly, it all made sense. Adam and I exchanged looks of deep regret, realizing how much we had misunderstood Jason's actions. His passion for cars wasn't just a hobby, it was his lifeline, a vital part of his identity and dreams. The weight of our mistakes hit hard as we grasped how our actions had pushed him away from what truly mattered to him. In that moment, we understood. Jason didn't just love cars, he wanted to pursue his true passion wholeheartedly. Jason finally opened up, admitting, "I've been working as a mechanic on weekends." He explained how he'd kept it a secret, knowing we wouldn't approve. All this time, while we thought he was simply hanging out with friends, he was actually earning money and building skills for the future he truly envisioned. The car, as it turned out, was meant to be his nest egg, a foundation for the life he dreamed of creating. Adam had sold the car, believing it to be just a distraction, but for Jason, it represented so much more. Coming to terms with our mistake was a painful realization. It was then that we truly saw the talent and determination he possessed. Jason's grades hadn't been slipping because he was lazy or unmotivated. They were slipping because he poured every free moment into chasing his dreams. Our son had been working tirelessly, and we had completely failed to recognize it. Jason met our gaze, his eyes filled with determination. "I never wanted to study business," he confessed. "I want to fix cars." His words left us speechless, a stark reminder of how little we truly understood him. All this time, we'd been pushing him toward a path he didn't desire, unknowingly making him feel trapped. In that moment, we began to see the world from Jason's perspective, realizing the depth of his passion and the weight of our missteps. With a newfound understanding, we promised Jason we'd help him track down his car, no matter the effort it took. "We'll support you in your decision," I assured him, my voice steady with conviction. Adam nodded in agreement, adding, "We just want you to be happy, Jason." It felt like a weight had been lifted, a chance to finally move forward as a family, with clarity and support guiding our path instead of misunderstanding. As we stood together, a sense of relief washed over me. Jason nodded, his expression softening as he realized we were genuinely standing by his side this time. These were lessons we would carry with us forever. For the first time in months, it felt like we were truly connected, finally on the same page. The challenges we'd faced had been difficult, but they were teaching us something priceless: how to listen, understand, and support one another as a family. As we drove home together, the car was filled with a quiet but undeniable sense of hope. For the first time in what felt like forever, I allowed myself to truly believe things could change for the better. Jason now knew we had his back, and we were ready to support him wholeheartedly in his passion for cars. It wasn't just about understanding him anymore. It was about standing by him every step of the way. This was our chance for a fresh start, and we were ready to embrace it together. Adam glanced at me, his face resolute, a clear determination in his eyes. We needed to find a way to help Jason balance his education with his love for cars. It wouldn't be easy, but together, we were prepared to walk this new path as a family. "Let's sit down and figure this out," I suggested, knowing that rebuilding our relationship required action, not just words. With Jason's dreams back on track, it was our turn to prove that we were truly listening and ready to support him. Jason agreed to work on finding a healthy balance between school and his mechanic work, and as a family, we all committed to sticking to the schedule. It felt like a fresh start, a chance to rebuild trust and understanding. His eagerness was infectious, lifting our spirits and reinforcing that this was the right path for him. With a renewed sense of purpose, we looked ahead, hopeful for what the future would bring. Our journey together, it seemed, was only just beginning. Watching Jason's face light up was heartwarming. As he eased into sharing more about his work at the shop, stories about customers and tasks revealed a side of him we hadn't seen before. Was it his job that brought out this spark? Or was it our newfound understanding? Either way, understanding his world felt like discovering something special about our son. For the first time in a long while, we felt genuinely connected to him, a bond strengthened by this new chapter in his life. Listening to Jason talk about cars with such passion made me realize the immense potential he had. We'd been so focused on grades and academic achievements that we'd overlooked the incredible talents he already possessed. As he described his projects, I saw the spark in his eyes, and it became clear that his love for cars was a gift we had been blind to. Adam and I exchanged a knowing glance, both of us realizing that our son had a bright future ahead, one we hadn't fully understood until now. As we headed home, Adam and I realized we now truly understood Jason's struggles. This was a turning point for us. We were committed to supporting his interests and passions from this moment forward. Our son needed us, and we were ready to walk this path with him, side by side. Together, we'd find ways to help Jason balance his love for cars with the responsibilities of school. It felt like we were finally on the same journey, united and ready to move forward together. When we finally returned home with Jason, the house felt different. Was it the new understanding we'd reached, or the warmth that came from being together as a family again? Either way, it felt like a fresh start. The space seemed to embrace this new beginning, wrapping us in its comforting familiarity. Jason even joked about how it didn't feel like the same place. We all burst out laughing, the tension finally gone. It was a moment of pure relief, knowing that we were moving forward together. Adam wasted no time making plans to help Jason recover his car, and our neighbors, who knew Jason's love for cars, eagerly offered their help. Their encouragement was invaluable, making the task of reaching out to the buyer feel less daunting. It was heartwarming to see our community rally around Jason, recognizing his passion and supporting him in this journey. We all shared the hope that this would be the beginning of something incredible for him. It was incredible to see how the community understood and respected Jason's passion for cars. Their support meant the world to us and made the path ahead seem brighter and more promising. We felt immense gratitude for the wonderful people surrounding us, as they reminded us that Jason's dreams were valid and worth pursuing. This newfound backing gave us confidence in the future, knowing that Jason had an entire network of people cheering him on. Jason took full charge of his life over the next few days, carefully organizing his schedule to balance both school and his love for cars. It was a joy to watch Jason set realistic goals for himself and take pride in achieving them. His friends, seeing him so dedicated and happy, were thrilled and eager to support him, offering help whenever they could. His effort and determination inspired us all, reminding us of the power of pursuing what truly matters. Day by day, we watched Jason transform. He seemed more relaxed, and to our surprise, his grades began to improve. It felt like we were watching him bloom before our eyes. The balance he found between school and his passion for cars allowed him to manage his time more effectively, giving him the space he needed to excel in both areas. His renewed enthusiasm filled our home with energy, and we cheered him on with every small victory, proud of the young man he had become. The car, once seen as a problem, had become a symbol of hope in our family. It was incredible how perspectives changed when we took the time to truly understand Jason's passion. We learned that by opening our eyes, we could turn problems into possibilities. Seeing Jason's renewed outlook on life made us realize that a little understanding could go a long way. We couldn't have been happier for taking this step together as a family, knowing it would be the foundation of a brighter future. As the truth behind Jason's grades continued to unfold, we uncovered more about his secret efforts. He'd been working late nights, saving every penny he could to fund his passion for cars. This revelation touched us deeply, revealing just how far he had gone to pursue what he loved most. It was inspiring to witness firsthand how dedicated and driven Jason truly was, even when no one was watching. His determination made us realize how much he had been giving of himself and how little we had understood. Jason's commitment had come at a cost to his academics, but it also revealed his incredible resilience. He had tucked his secret savings into the car, never letting us in on his plans. Discovering that he had hidden all his money in the vehicle felt like finding treasure. In that moment, we truly understood just how much his passion meant to him. Looking back, it became clear that Jason's true vision had been unfolding before us all along, and we had finally seen it for what it truly was. The car wasn't just a vehicle to Jason, it was much more. Every penny he earned had gone straight into that car. We finally realized it was a key part of his plans for the future. Jason had made it a symbol of his dreams and everything he was working toward. Every detail of the car reflected his investment in his future, something we hadn't fully understood until now. Listening to Jason share his story was like a light switch flicking on in our minds. The dedication and passion he had were truly remarkable. Adam and I exchanged looks of admiration, realizing just how big a dream our son had quietly been carrying. Jason's drive was beyond anything we'd imagined, and it made us respect him even more, seeing all the hard work he'd put into making his dream a reality. Sitting there, hearing Jason's story, I was blown away by how much he had kept to himself. It hit us hard. The pride we felt for his dedication was mixed with guilt. How could we have missed it all? His ability to juggle school, work, and his passion made us realize just how much we had overlooked. But amid the guilt, there was also a strong desire to support his journey moving forward. It was shocking to realize how heavy Jason's burden had been. His car wasn't just a dream, it was a part of him. We knew we had to help him get it back. It felt like reclaiming everything he'd been working so hard for. The weight he had carried alone was too much, and we were determined to lighten his load. It was an essential step in truly honoring who Jason was and the dedication he had shown. As we began to open up more with Jason, our understanding of each other deepened, and we realized how much we had learned from this experience. Our conversations became more honest, reflecting our genuine care for him. We understood that being supportive wasn't just about getting his car back, but about coming together as a team. We learned to truly listen to each other, and it felt rewarding to know that Jason trusted us again and knew he had our full support. Each conversation we had with Jason became another step in rebuilding trust. He began to realize that he could count on us, and it made a significant difference in our relationship. It was encouraging to see our talks serve as the foundation for something stronger, knowing it wouldn't happen overnight, but we were committed to the process. Being there for each other took on a deeper, more meaningful significance in our family, strengthening the bonds between us. Looking back on everything with Jason, what initially seemed like a major crisis ultimately became an opportunity for growth. We took these lessons to heart, hoping they would guide us as a family moving forward. We all learned from the chaos, realizing that understanding can transform problems into opportunities. The experience served as a powerful reminder of the importance of truly listening and seeing what's happening with each other. As a family, we learned the importance of supporting not just what's expected, but also each other's true passions. This realization was a game changer for us. Adam and I became more aware of Jason's love for cars and his ambitions, ready to nurture them. This shift in mindset brought a positive change in our relationships, making them more open and supportive. It was a lesson that truly left its mark on all of us. In the end, Jason's car, which had once been the center of chaos, became the thing that united us. It was surprising how something so simple could bring us closer together. With understanding and support, our family began to heal and grow stronger. Our future now felt full of promise, knowing we were in this together. With fresh perspectives and open hearts, we were ready for the new adventures that awaited us.